explosive plays on the ground.
Yep.
Makai Simpson a long touchdown, Jermaine Brown, Carter Judah got into the act
Yep.
as well. Can you talk about the score of running backs and how important they are to the efficiency of this offense?
Yeah, ain't no doubt. And, I've said it all summer, said it, when everybody's talking about our team. I like our running back position. And it's not just one guy. We feel like we got three, really a four-headed monster. A lot of people don't know about Josiah Clark yet. He's been playing a little bit more inside linebacker for us. But he's another guy that can really run the football for us. So we got four guys back there we feel really comfortable. And, kind of last week, that's what we wanted to do. Playing in a weather game. We had to run the football. I think the previous week we came out and threw the football for right around 370-something yards or something like that. So not that we didn't run the ball well against Elba, but we really wanted to come out and control the line of scrimmage last week. We knew the conditions were going to be a little wet and all that kind of stuff. And, I credit our offensive line for coming out and really, we harped all week about getting off the ball. And we did a good job. And, like you said, Carter popped one early, JB popped one in the second quarter, then Kyle popped one right before half. So we had, three really long runs right there. So just credit to our offensive line right there and those guys running the football.
You touched on the different offensive strategy last night as opposed to the week before at Elba. Pender, I believe, only threw the ball about 8 times as opposed to the 22 the week before.
Correct.
Was that just the weather aspect, or was that something you saw in Comer's defense that you thought you could take advantage of?
It's our offense. And, we're a very, very big-time RPO offense. Yeah. And so, we kind of – it's a very big numbers game for us offensively. So, if people are going to stack the box, we're going to, pop the ball around all over the field. People are going to kind of play us on the perimeter, and we want to come out and run the ball. So, game plan-wise, it really don't change a whole lot. We are who we are, and, we want to take advantage of numbers. And, but it just so happened to be, a little wet last week, and then, us being able to run the ball early and move the football, move the chains. So a lot easier as a play caller to take the ball out of the air and just run the football. I promise you that.
Looking at the defensive side of things, the front seven I thought played very well. Can you talk about the physicality up front to hold Comer to a scoreless first half?
Oh, yeah. So, I don't think they scored on our first team defense. I think they had right at 70 yards total offense on our first team. We subbed a little bit late, and they were able to move the ball a little bit. But, I do credit us up front, and I credit our defensive staff a whole lot. I was really worried about their quarterback coming into the ball game, number 8, really good athlete who's committed to North Alabama, kind of a dynamic player. But I just thought we played really, really good. I thought Josiah Carter played, again, another great game for us, inside linebacker. I thought Klein Edwards came in for Carter when he kind of went out with a little sting on his shoulder, came in and played really well. Cam Cooper played really well. And then Makai Simpson, he played probably his best game yet coming off the edge for us defensively. And I've said it week after week. He's just starting to come onto his own. His body's getting back in shape a lot. So very happy with us, the second level guys. And then, our front, Emory Davis, Markel Robinson, AC Carter, Tyler Sykes, Carter Ross, Brandon Niles. Man, I can't say enough about those guys right now and how they're playing.
There's only been 3 games this season, but I feel like this is a way different team, a more improved team than it was, especially in the first half against Valley.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the biggest aspects the team has improved upon so far this season?
Well, I don't think we're so much of a different team than we were in the first half Valley. I think there was a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
And
feeling it out.
Yeah, just kind of anytime you play them, when you got a lot of new guys come out of the locker room that really had to play together, then the unknown of going to public school, then the unknown of playing a 5A. So a lot of unknowns that first week, but I would definitely agree. As crazy you said it, I told the team after practice today, we talked about kind of our first 3 ball games, and besides that first quarter of Valley, we've played at a really, really high level. We've played some really good football. So that's just kind of our goal right now is continue to try to play at a high level and not play like we did in that first quarter, in that first half against Valley. But just, our guys are starting to buy into what we're doing. They're starting to believe in what we're doing. And, it's I talk about this all the time with our kids. It's so much football, at any level is trying to sustain that culture within the program and in the building. Every day you have to work on it, and you have to talk about it, and you have to coach. So I think our guys are starting to really bind together. I think they enjoy themselves, and we're having fun together. So anytime you go on the road like we've had to the last 2 weeks, it kind of really can bring your football team together if you can go out there and play well. And I think it's really done that for us.
One aspect I believe is very important in bad weather games is special teams. I was impressed with the special teams. Made a field goal there in the fourth quarter. I know it wasn't a particularly long one, only 30 yards, but how confident are you in your special teams that if you're in a very even game where both teams are evenly matched,
it's something we work a lot, Noah, and it's something I don't take for granted. I've said this on this show in previous years. In 2017, we got a blocked extra point on a team I coach in overtime, and it cost us a trip to the state championship game. So special teams matter, and you have to put an emphasis in it. And it's something we work every single Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and it's something I believe you got to be really sound in. But it's also something where you can win football games. And we talk all the time with the coaching staff. If we can win special teams, then we just got to figure out how to win on offense or defense. And you win 2/3 of the ball game, usually you're going to win the football game. So, I can't credit Carter Hughes enough the way he's been kicking. Our kickoff team has been phenomenal. We got the ball going everywhere. We're pooching it. We're kicking it deep. We're kicking it to the front line. So we got the ball all over the place. A lot of stuff people have to practice. He's been really good for us at extra point. I think he did miss one the other night, but it's kind of a freak thing where, they had a little place of turf in the middle out there, like replaced turf. So he had to kind of get used to that. But he's been phenomenal for us. One of the things that impressed me the most, and people take for granted with this, is, we were backed up twice. And one time we had to punt the ball in our own end zone. And it's something we work every Monday and Wednesday at practice. And it's that quick, tight punt where you got to get the ball out and they're trying to come block it. So I thought he did a phenomenal job with that late in the ball game and get that ball out and had about a 38-yard punt. So I can't say enough about him in our special team. And Coach Boyd has done a wonderful job. But we just got to keep getting better there, no doubt.
Pender came out in the second half, put in Jalen Stanley. Can you talk about his impact and his role in this team?
Yeah, man, I love Jalen. And Jalen doing a good job. Jalen came in, in the summer with us, and he's a young kid or young to our offense, but he's done nothing but come in and work his tail off for us, and he's getting better every single day. And he came in, did a good job for us the other night, just commanding and controlling the offense, getting us in the right play and things like that. But I got a lot of confidence in Jalen, and I think Jalen is going to continue to grow, and I think you'll continue to see Jalen playing for us.
Speaking of growth, back to Pender, how do you think he has grown in this RPO offense from game 1 to last Friday?
Well, he's getting more comfortable, and I think you saw that against Elba. He got a lot more comfortable week 2. Last week, I think, the third play of the game, we're sitting there on 3rd and long, 3rd and 12, and he throws a dot to Mason down the sideline, dropped it in there really well. Made another big-time throw in the rain to Cam Cooper on another 3rd down on the next possession, which the ball he just kind of drove in there. And then the throw going at halftime was a big-time throw where he hit what we call a little glance right on the backside, where he hit Mason for a touchdown. So I can't say enough about his efficiency and his leadership, and I think he's just doing a good job. And I think our offense, and I think everybody's just buying into him as a leader and who he is. And Levi is not he's not new to playing in big ball games. Levi's been doing this since he's been a sophomore. He won a state championship as a point guard as a sophomore. So I tell everybody, Levi Penner's an athletic dude, but the thing about him, when them lights come on, he knows how to play at a high level.
Yeah. Gator fans will remember I was on the call for that one. Right. So last question for you on this segment. It's tough to take, especially, no offense to 17-year-olds. It's tough to take a bunch of teenagers on the road, I believe, and keep them focused and keep them in the moment and focus on the task at hand. How do you prepare your team for long road trips like that?
Man, I just think it's our program. And this may sound cliche. It's just our program and our process, man.
Yeah.
And, our kids really believe in what we do. And it's a business-like mentality. Like, we want to have fun and we want to have, create memories and do all this kind of stuff. But it's a job. And, we load up that charter bus and we go out of town. It's a 2-hour trip. There ain't no talking on our bus. The kids are sleeping. They're putting their headphones on and, they're concentrating and mentally getting prepared to play. And, it was a long day for us on Friday. We get down there, we have to eat pregame meal, then we go through walkthroughs, and we have to dress and tape and all that kind of stuff. But, you want the kids to relax, so it's not like they're uptight or anything like that. We got the music blaring once we are dressing and things like that. But, I just really credit to the maturity of our guys. And we have a mature football team. We got an older football team. So, they know how to handle the road trips. And like I said, the first one was so good for us to go to Elba and do it the right way and play at a high level. So now all we got to do is repeat what we did to be ready to play. So that was good for us.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by 2 players for the Gators, wide receiver Mason McCrane and running back Mekhi Simpson. You're watching the Glenwood Gators Coaches Show on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Zaxby's, and Pepsi. We'll be right back.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC presents a fantastic lineup of popular full-size SUVs and mid-size trucks. Compare side by side. Take your choice from new Chevrolet Tahoes and GMC Yukons, discounted up to $7,000 off. Or Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyons, discounted up to $5,000 off. Experience unmatched durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect vehicle today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile. Georgia Alabama Sports Live wants to say thank you to one of our presenting sponsors, Buffalo Rock, and their partnership with everything that we do. And without businesses like Buffalo Rock, we wouldn't be able to go cover softball, volleyball games, every type of high school sport you can think of, local college games, and professional. So thank you to those businesses that support us, and specifically Buffalo Rock. And next time you're watching a Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast after a nice long day, why not enjoy it with a nice, refreshing Sorry? The best lemon lime soda around. Thank you to Sorry and Buffalo Rock for our partnership on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. This week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, we have 4 amazing football games we can't wait to bring you. First up is Hardaway versus Shaw, Thursday night at 7 p.m. Then on Friday, we have triple header action as we will broadcast Northside versus Carver, Flint River versus Calvary, and our game of the week, Childersburg at Glenwood, where high school game day will be taking place. So when it comes to Thursday and Friday nights, make sure you watch Georgia Alabama Sports Live for all your high school action. We will see you there.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC offers popular full-size trucks with a legacy of strength and durability. Side by side, the new Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500s, discounted up to $13,000 off. Or big, heavy-duty Chevy and GMC 2500s, discounted up to $8,000 off. Rugged durability, powerful engines, and advanced technology. Choose your perfect truck today at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back to the Glenwood Coaches Show, live here at Mike and Ed's, presented by Glen Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Zaxby's, and Pepsi. I'm here with Ryan Nelson, the head coach of the Glenwood Gators, as well as 2 players for the men, Mekhi Simpson and Mason McCrane. Welcome to the show, guys. Get comfortable. So, Mason, I'm going to start with you. All right. Been in Glenwood for a few years. Obviously, my biggest memory, this game-winning point in the state championship game for basketball a couple years ago. But what has Ryan Nelson meant to you as a coach, and where do you believe personally you've grown the biggest as part of the football team?
I think he means a lot too. He teaches us a lot of discipline and the little details. We talk about that all week. It's just being prepared for everything possible.
All right, Mekhi, got to ask, on the 80-yard touchdown run, what did you see? Besides green grass.
Honestly, I seen before the play started, we run a pretty good hurry up offense. So I feel like we set, they one set, and our line they kicked and crawled, and it was in the end zone by the time I looked up.
All right. Back to you, Mason. This receiver room, I believe, has a lot of talent in it, a lot of height, a lot of size. Can you talk about maybe the conditioning that you guys have put in to get into shape for that?
I mean, during practice, every time we're like doing special teams or anything not to do with receivers, we're down the other end zone running routes, working on crabs and conditioning to keep ourselves in shape.
Right. Mekhi, how has Ryan affected your career in your life as well, you being in the program so far?
So far,
Yeah.
since I've met him, he's the best coach that I've had so far in my high school career and middle school. So I do thank him for giving me a chance to come to a great winning program. It's been a minute since I've seen him.
Ryan, can you talk a little bit about those 2 players in your right?
Yeah, no. So I mean, first I started out here with Mason. 3-year starter. I think a 3-year starter in 3 different sports now. Just when you look at him, you just look at freak athlete. I mean, he comes from a great family. Got an older brother, but his thing about he's a little bit different than his older brother. He's a little bit longer, stretchier guy. And anytime you talk about on the football field, a guy that plays outside receiver that's 6'6" and can go up there and rebound the football, ultimately you think about red zone threat right now. So I think the one thing about him, he's developed so much as a football player, just working on his routes, and I think his speed. When I first got with Mason didn't really trust his speed. He's always been a good runner, but he never thought he was fast as he was, and I think that's one thing he's really understanding right now is he can really run away from people when he wants to, and you saw that last week just on the 2 plays that he made. He should have had 2 touchdowns, but he steps out of bounds on the first one, made a heck of a catch. In the second one, when he catches the glance right there across the middle, I think he broke out for about 60 yards. There wasn't nobody within 20 yards of him. So I just think him, just developing as a player. But, one thing about Mason, too, he's a great locker room guy. He's a great kid. He's got a bright future, and I just can't wait to see what, holds for him. And it may not be in football, maybe another sport, but he's just, like I told him the first time I met him, football is going to make you so much of a better baseball player because of the toughness and the mental toughness that you're going to have from playing this sport. But can't say enough about him. Just, like I said, what he brings to our locker room also. And then Kai here, I've been fortunate enough, been knowing him since April, and it's just been a great relationship between me and him. It's just a situation where he needed another opportunity to come in and play somewhere. And things weren't going good for him, so we welcome him with open arms. I've done nothing but try to just push him and love on him as much as I can because the same thing I talked about with Mason, he's got such a bright future. And one thing we really talked about this summer the most with him was having to get his body back in shape. And a lot of people don't know Kai's story, but Kai went through a lot 2 years ago. And just giving him another opportunity and trying to love on him as much as I can. But the most important thing is, teaching him what the next level is going to look like because it's not going to be easy. And, college football ain't easy. But it's something that he's definitely going to have an opportunity to go do next year if he'll just keep his head on straight. And I expect him to continue to be, really good for us. And like I said on this show last week, the more we play, the weeks we keep going, you're going to see this kid get better and better and better and better because his body's going to get back going. And to love his mom, love his family. And so just, continue to have a good relationship with him and coach him hard. But I love these guys and we just stay on them and hopefully we can keep on having, really good success.
I heard him say on the bus trip up there that you guys got the headphones on, getting in the zone. Where are you listening to? What's on my pregame playlist?
I try not to be too sad. So I either put some DMX on.
Okay.
On my DMX, probably some Lil Boost.
Okay.
So
All right.
I like that.
Mason?
I prefer Lil Baby.
That's right.
That's right, baby. Little baby.
Mason, Mackay, thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. When we come back, me and Ryan are going to preview the Childersburg game at the Swamp on Friday. You're watching the Glenwood Coaches Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Chevrolet Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, Zaxby's, and Pepsi. We'll be right back.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season. This week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, we have 4 amazing football games we can't wait to bring you. First up is Hardaway versus Shaw, Thursday night at 7 p.m. Then on Friday, we have triple header action as we will broadcast Northside versus Carver, Flint River versus Calvary, and our game of the week, Childersburg at Glenwood, where high school game day will be taking place. When it comes to Thursday and Friday nights, make sure you watch Georgia Alabama Sports Live for all your high school action. We will see you there.
Welcome back to the Glenwood Gators Coaches Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Chevrolet Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Zaxby's, and Pepsi. Noah Sheldon, Ryan Nelson here back with you. Childersburg, coming off a loss to Lee Scott last week. Played on a Thursday, though, extra day of rest. What have you seen from them that might present some challenges on Friday?
Well, I think kind of their football team starts kind of like last week with their quarterback number 2. Very athletic, dynamic runner type guy. When you put the film on with Childersburg, you see athletes all over the field. And so we're going to have our hands full. And so, they, defensively, they got, their D-line is very active. Got some good DBs, good skill guys. So I think that's the biggest part of their football team is what they have on the perimeter and their skill guys. So we're definitely going to have to show up and play football. I mean, so, we just, got to continue to have a good week of practice, prepare like we had the last 3 weeks, and then when the lights come on Friday, we got to turn it up and we got to play ball.
Where are you looking from the quarterback position on Friday specifically?
From us or from them?
From you. From
us.
From Pender.
Yeah, so I mean, again, right now, early in the week, it's calling for about 80% chance of rain on Friday.
Yep.
So it could be a sense like it was last week where, you're playing in a weather ball game. So we got to be able to handle that if that's the case. But, most importantly, I don't think, so much of us is changing what we do. We like to play with pace. Again, like we talked about earlier, we're RPO offense, so it's really going to predicate, what they're giving us on the perimeter, what they're giving us in the box. And, it's like I said on here 2 weeks ago, Levi Pender, his job is to come out and kind of just play point guard for us, put us in the right play, distribute the ball where it's supposed to go, and make the right decisions, and, just continue to do what he's been doing.
First home region game coming up on Friday. I know it's cliche, and I know you like the program, as you say, but how do you keep these guys focused on just the one game and one play at a time and not looking ahead or anything?
It's so simple, man, because, it's the way we talk in our building every single week because, as we get these kids in on Sunday, we kind of close the door from Friday night and we open the next door for the next week. And we try to put all of our focus on a Sunday night, a Monday morning, a Monday afternoon, a Tuesday morning, a Tuesday afternoon, and then a Wednesday afternoon into our opponent. And I don't get caught up in who we play next or who we play 5 weeks from now. We're worried about where our feet are right this second and who we play this week because the ultimate goal right now is to go 1-0. And if we can go 1-0 this week, then now we're 2-0 in the region. Now we're 4-0 as a football team. So you can't really look at the whole big picture all the time. If you'll just, kind of dump it down. I preach to these guys all the time. It's just the small things. So as small as that is, you just keep it right there and try to go 1-0 every single week. And then, Sunday we'll get back in there, shut the door for Childersburg, open the door for the next opponent.
Right. You mentioned number 2 for Childersburg, very athletic quarterback. What kind of challenges can he present to your defense?
Well, just a dynamic athlete. He can throw it, but he's such a good athlete. He's hard to tackle. He moves around, avoids guys really well. So they do a lot of stuff offensively. They'll spread you out in empty and quads, and they'll jump in 2 back, and they'll jump in 2 tights with kind of 2 up backs, and they'll jump into a wishbone set. So they're kind of all over the place offensively. So we got to do a really good job preparing for what they're going to give us and be able to align because that's what they try to do is get you misaligned and things like that. So, but we started working today on it, and hopefully, we work the next 2 or 3 days on it, and we're ready to go by the time they come in here Friday night.
When it comes to the offensive game plan, how much of it is enforcing your will and doing what you want to do as opposed to just taking what the defense gives you?
It's a balance. It is. I mean, because you can't. Here's the thing: like you may want to come out here and run a certain play, but this week if they're playing a certain defense, well, that play ain't gonna work against that front. So you got to be able to be smart enough as an offensive guy to understand what hurts, what different fronts and things like that. Same thing when you look at their secondary, what's going to hurt in the route combination, what's going to hurt what they're doing and what they're giving you and things like that. But again, get back to what I said, we want to play with pace. So we're never going to change when it comes to playing at a fast pace and a high tempo, things like that. And we want to get the ball to our playmakers. I don't think, since I've been here, we haven't been one guy heavy. I don't want to be one guy heavy, as you can see. Like we talked about last week, you had the 3 running backs we talked about. We had 2 of them over 100 yards, had 3 of them score. Then you had Mason have a decent ball game. You had Cam Cooper catch balls. You had Cal Lawrence catch balls. So just continue to try to get the ball in everybody's hand. And I always have said this: the more weapons you have, the harder it is to stop for a defense.
All right, Coach. Anything like that about Childersburg?
No, just please. It's Friday the 13th this week, and we got to have the fans out. And we want the fans out. Please come support these guys. And just trying to look to go 1-0 this week and 2-0 in the region.
Come listen to me get people hyped on 3rd down.
Please do. You got to have you.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Congratulations on the win Friday. Good luck on Friday against Childersburg. And when we come back, we'll be joined by the athletic director of the Gators, Tim Fanning. This is the Glenwood Coaches Show from Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Zaxby's, and Pepsi. We'll be right back.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live is proud to partner with one of our presenting sponsors, Buffalo Rock. And without this partnership, it would be hard to be able to live stream all the different sporting events at high schools, colleges, and local professional teams every single week like we do. So we thank Buffalo Rock for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And next time you're watching a Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast, make sure you're drinking a nice, refreshing Pepsi. Delicious. Thank you to Buffalo Rock and Pepsi.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job is meeting patients every day. They will crack me up every day. They make my day better. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university. They actually take the time out for each student.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating.
Welcome back to the Gators Coaches Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Zaxby's, and Pepsi. I'm joined by the athletic director for the Glenwood Gators, Tim Fanning. Tim, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Big things going on at Glenwood this week, not just football. Tomorrow night, volleyball against Central. And Thursday night is volleyball, you said, tri-match against LaGrange and Columbus. Can you talk about the volleyball program so far this season and how big it is to have a school like Central come to the Swamp?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Coach Strength has got the girls, dialed in. They've played in some tough tournaments. Matter of fact, this weekend they're going to a big one up in Fort Payne, Alabama. So it's just it's been a little bit different, navigating different teams and things like that, being on the road a little bit more than we're accustomed to, just because you don't really have those relationships yet and things like that. But making a move to the AHSA are about weeks like this week, and being able to have Central come in and play at our place, and then Columbus High, and there's just a lot of buzz around those girls in that program, which deservingly so. They deserve all that, and it's really cool to be able to share our girls and what they do and what they can do with the rest of this Bi-City area. So in addition to that, we got Pee Wee football at home tomorrow against a familiar foe in Springwood, because that's below 7th grade, so we can play them. And then got another region game at home, our first region game at home in the Swamp.
Speaking of that Pee Wee football team, and not just the Pee Wee, but the middle school teams, can you talk about those teams and how they give an opportunity to middle schoolers and elementary school players to be introduced to the game of football?
Well, yeah, and that is a great thing about our school is having the kids from the time they're in elementary school. We get to familiarize them with our programs, especially in football, because we have football 6th grade and below as well. So they get to be around our players, get to be around our coaches and things like that. So it wants them, gets them wanting to be a Gator, at a very young age. Middle school had a big victory last week, They took one on the chin in their first game, and then we went to our rival Lee Scott and won 50-48 in triple overtime, and they were super excited about that. So Coach Valero is doing a good job, and Coach Edwards and Coach Krebs are 3 graduates of Glenwood.
Recent as well.
Right, that's right. And they're one has become a teacher, one is about to be a teacher, and the other one has graduated from college and volunteering his time. So it's been really cool to see the maturation of those guys too.
Speaking of those alumni, what does it mean to you for players like Trent, Cody, and Bryce to want to come back and not only just coach but work at Glenwood as part of maybe as a career?
Well, I'll be honest, it's a very special place, and those are reasons why it's special.
Yeah.
I want to say that almost half. If it's not half, it's close to half of our staff graduated from Glenwood, and that, to me, that just lets them know how much that school really means to them. I mean, the voice of our Gators is a former alumni, right? So it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to all the people on campus, because it makes it feel more special when people want to come back and give their time and basically, their careers to the place they love.
About a month into the school year now, as the AD of an AHSAA school, as opposed to AISA school, is there any major differences or sort of different things that you've noticed so far?
Yeah, I will say, the places that we've gone to, from a football standpoint, the facilities have been very nice. Not to say there wasn't any in the AISA, but they've been bigger, and I mean, it's just a bigger stage, right? Yep. So I've been super impressed with that. I've been super impressed with the hospitality we've been shown when we go on the road to these places. And people who don't know, they don't know, right? So, I mean, you have to go do it and find out, right? And not that I had any doubts. I mean, because most people that are educators, they're in it for the right reason. They're trying to do what's best for their kids, just like we are too. And there's just commonalities. So, to be quite honest, I've just been pleasantly surprised, not surprised, but pleased with how it's gone so far and how we've been received with the teams that we've played. Now, I haven't been on the road, with volleyball, but, just talking to the coaches, they said the atmospheres have been good. When we went over to Northside, the atmosphere was great in volleyball. So, I just be honest, it's been really good. I think the atmosphere, the kids being excited about going to new places has been phenomenal.
Coach, anything you'd like to add before we close?
No, one thing I would like to say is, Georgia Alabama Sports Live, I just want to commend you on what you're doing in the Bi-City area.
Thank you, Coach.
Being able to bring these types of things to viewers, and it's something that's been needed for a long time, and for Thrift and all you guys to step out that way and really work your tails off to make that happen. Which is another alumni of Glenwood, which I'm super proud of as well. Sorry to keep plugging, but it's just, it's amazing when you spend that kind of time and really put others ahead of yourself, how good things can turn out for you. And, that's about it. That's all I've got. I'm super proud of all our fall teams. Matter of fact, and I don't want to forget this, cross country is running against Central on Thursday at Lakewood Golf Course. So, that's really cool too. I mean, that's something new for our kids, and that's about it. All right.
Coach, thanks for joining us.
I enjoyed it.
Speaking of those two volleyball games that we mentioned, Columbus High and LaGrange in a tri-match on Thursday Central tomorrow, you can catch both of those on Georgia Alabama Sports Live at 6 o'clock on the channel on YouTube and Facebook, as well as Thursday night football, Hardaway and Shaw. That's at 7. I'll be on the call along with Thrift. Calvary softball on Thursday at 5:30. Then on Friday, triple header again, high school football, 7 o'clock. Northside and Carver, 7:30, Flint, River, and Calvary. And at 8 o'clock, from the Swamp, Childersburg and Glenwood, in the Gators' first home region game as a member of the AHSAA. For Coach Nelson, for Makai Simpson and Mason McCrane, For AD Tim Fanning, my producer Chris, I've been your host Noah Shelton. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next Monday on the Gators Coaches Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Glenwood Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Zaxby's, and Pepsi.
This week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, we have 4 amazing football games we can't wait to bring you. First up is Hardaway versus Shaw, Thursday night at 7 p.m. Then on Friday, we have triple header action as we will broadcast Northside versus Carver, Flint River versus Calvary, and our game of the week, Childersburg at Glenwood, where high school game day will be taking place. So when it comes to Thursday and Friday nights, make sure you watch Georgia Alabama Sports Live for all your high school action. We will see you there.